For our next presentation, please welcome Mr. Jaytuck, best-selling author and television producer and expert in AI in healthcare.
Well, hi. Sometimes the technology doesn't work. The microphone is broken and the projector is out of focus, but that's not the case here. I'm glad to be here. I'm a television producer, bestseller author. My TED Talk had 4.5 million clicks, but basically I'm a publicist. And I came here with great pleasure. This is a very exciting and beautiful place to be, but it's also a very innovative place to be. And the talk I'm going to give right now is addressing local audiences and your specific medical problems. And you should know my background is not in IT or in medicine. My background is as a journalist. So I report on things that exist today. Startups, they will project into the future. There are wonderful new technologies and the millions of dollars that they're going to earn. And there's a lot of speculation and good wishes involved in that. I concentrate on the things that exist right now. And one thing I would like to say in regard to the remarks for me, it's very important that we have a purpose in what we're doing. And one of my best friends introduced AI into the largest hospital in Germany, and he told me we don't have a problem with too few nurses. Our problem is that our nursing personnel is bogged down with bureaucratic jobs that should be done by machines. We put a relative in the hospital, and he had to fill out a form with his name and his address and his health history 4 times before he got to see a doctor. Okay, scratch 2, because that's Germany, okay? And Germany is like that. But all around the world, if you go past a nursing station in a hospital, you'll see them sitting there filling out forms. And his theory was, if we do that with machines, which is very easy to do, or counting pills. Counting pills is a great job for nurses. They spend great portions of their day counting pills, which is nonsense for a human. That's something a machine can do better. And it's also an area where your mistake can be fatal to the patients. So if we transfer the bureaucratic jobs into the machines, we've gone a long way towards making it possible for these people to do what they love in their profession. They became nursing people to take care of others, to take care of sick people, and that's what they wanted to do. My book is out, not in Arabic or English, unfortunately, but it's out in German. And if your German's not very good, you can always look into the Chinese version and maybe get some help over there, okay? Just a couple of sentences to what AI is, because there's a lot of confusion. People watch Hollywood movies and see all these Terminator monsters. An AI machine can deal with 800 million pages in a minute. And that's why they're good at dealing with big data. They have to reduce the problems into mathematical pluses and zeros, but once they've got it down to that, they can solve, and they can beat anyone at chess or at Go or anything. And here we are with our 20 watts, 1,400 grams, and it may sound like a nut, but 86 billion neurons, it won't get you very far, actually, in the computing world. Now, this talk was originally going to be my second talk. My first talk is later this afternoon. They've rescheduled me a bit, and it's military. And my first talk is going to be about how Ukraine is winning a war against the second largest army in the world with high technology, with artificial intelligence. And that's part of my schizophrenic personality, because weapons and AI, that's mean stuff. They kill people. So that's my bad cop talk, okay? And then I come to this talk, which is how AI is saving human life and millions of human lives. And again, these are not projections or hopes or dreams or PowerPoints and startups. I'm dealing with the here and now, the things that we can do today and should do today. Most of you know that, for example, if you examine an X-ray, an MRT or a CT, as a radiologist, highly paid, great specialist. And I went to the 3 best hospitals in Germany, talked to the chief radiologists. All 3 said that that picture could be better analyzed by a machine because pattern recognition and analyzing, finding the cancer cells in that picture, which is much more detailed than mine is a question of pattern recognition. Everyone knows that a radiologist's job, is there a cancer cell in there or not, can be better done by AI. And it's one of several jobs in medicine where they know that that AI is a very important tool, at least, and probably a very useful way of recognizing it. So let's take a step back. This was the first disease in humanity. It's leprosy. And it's a horrible disease. And terribly enough, it's still around today in the third world, mostly in Africa. But there's still 200,000 new infections every year, which there shouldn't be. With today's knowledge, there should not be 200,000 new. And they're all in the third world because the technology and the medical knowledge and the specialized doctors, they are in Boston or in London or maybe UAE, but they aren't down there where they're really, really needed. So you want to find a better way to deal with leprosy. And the new way is AI. And the technology is very simple. If you're in Lagos or somewhere else, and you have a suspected leprosy infection, you can take a photograph of it. And you mail that photograph off to a high-tech institution, and they can take it right off your mail, and they can make it an immediate analysis, and they can say, oh, yes, that's no, that's not leprosy. They can tell exactly what it is. And the same is true of many skin cancers, not all, but many skin cancers can be treated very simply in the technology of a third world doctor who just takes out his cell phone and takes a photograph of it and mails it in. And the same is true of mammography, which everyone in Europe all says all the women should go for a pre-cancer examination. But the problem of it is that when doctors do these examinations, the best doctors do these examinations, the top doctors at Harvard Medical School or at Cambridge, half of their diagnoses are wrong. That is a known fact. Half of their diagnoses are wrong. But if they use artificial intelligence to examine the CT or the MRT, they're almost always right. So just this one thing can worldwide, save millions of women's lives. Artificial intelligence is just like it is with a lung or an MRT. And the same is true of cervical cancer, which is also a tremendous killer around the world. It's very easy to examine. And these are third world problems. In Africa, 83% of all cancers are fatal. They kill people. And if you diagnose it early, you can help. And they are now using smartphones and artificial intelligence, which you can hook up directly to a microscope. You can take a microscopic image in a high-definition phone, forward it to Harvard or anywhere else, and they can quickly deal with these things on a machine level. And the new area also is in the same fashion, is retinal diagnosis. That's a picture of the retina. That's behind the nerves behind your eyes. And this is the same as an MRT. It's pattern recognition. That means in these little cells, we as human doctors, we might be able to see, okay, this is a case of diabetes or this is a case of leprosy. They're very clear. But there are many, many other things, blood pressure, cancer, thyroids, rheumatoid arthritis, Parkinson's. They can be diagnosed in the retina. This is new science. This is very new. It's only been known for a couple of years. But the solution for people who are far away from our high-tech centers and far away from what I would call millionaires' medicine, they can just take a picture of the retina, send it in, and diagnose it. The problem, as my speaker before me said, is not so much inventing the technology. It's doing the, does that mean I have 5 minutes left or 5 minutes left? Good. I can fill it. That's not a problem. Okay, so augmented reality is a very popular science, especially among kids doing startups. I think there are 15 augmented reality stands out here. But if there's anyone in here who's working with augmented reality, I have a request for you. Please do not do computer games. I know they're a lot of fun, and I know they make good money and sell well, but there are so many important things that you can do with augmented reality to save lives. Because augmented reality is one of the most important fields of medicine today. It gives you X-ray eyes. You look at a broken arm and you put on your augmented reality glasses, you can combine what your eye sees in reality with the MRT and CT and the X-ray pictures of the inside. And you have both of them together. And you can, if you cut open the skin, you can cut it open exactly where you want to cut it open. It saves lives, augmented reality in surgery, and it's in use today in good hospitals around the world with amazing results. Talk to the surgeons. They say, I couldn't be a surgeon if I didn't have it anymore. A friend of mine, he's a drummer. I played the drums a lot too. He's in a big star band, and this means he sits on a stool all day and hammers away at the drums. And he's a good drummer. But this is not good for your back, okay? You don't even have a back, a lean, and so you get all your spine gets all messed up, and it's bad. So he gets his shots that fix up his back. But the shots that he gets, they have to be put in right there, nowhere else. They have to be right on the spot. If they're aside from that, they can do serious damage to your back. So he puts on his augmented reality glasses. He has an X-ray view of the guy's back. He does it. This has been around for 3 years. He's been doing all of these shots with augmented reality with great success. It's very exciting. Or this, I have a cardiologist who told me about this. You can take someone's heart out of the body with the glasses and look at it. A live, beating heart. And you can pick it up and you can turn it around and look at it from all sides. You can figure out where you're going to put in a stent, where you're going to put in bypass, and make all your examinations. A tremendous assistance for doctors and especially heart surgeons who have to go into a dark hole and sort of figure out where to go and what to do. And we all know COVID, but you may not know that COVID was discovered by an AI company in Canada, small company. And they have their own AI system, and they analyzed over 1 million texts and in 65 languages. And on the 21st of December, they announced this is a pandemic. This is serious stuff. And they were 6 days before the WHO, which is no small accomplishment. And they discovered AI by examining forums and hospital patients and climate parameters, travel, Google requests, all of these different things. And they could not only tell a view of the past, but as AI can do, it tells you what's going to happen tomorrow. It can make projections that are very realistic. And of course, we're doing these studies all over the place, all over the world. 500,000 researchers in 170 disciplines did studies on COVID in the first year. Which doctor's going to read that? I don't know any. But if you have AI, it's making digests. It's condensing it. And if you say, I want to know about this, that, and the other thing, it will spit out these very readable, condensed versions of it. This can save lives. And in my conclusion, I'm going to go a little bit away from medicine, but not very far. I'm going to go into agriculture, because we have a problem in agriculture. One of them is called glyphosate. It's a poison. And you put it on the fields, and it's supposed to kill the weeds, which it does very well. But there are some people that say it might be killing people too. Cancer, it's not definitely proved, but it's definitely a dangerous substance. We dump hundreds and hundreds of thousands of toxic materials on our fields every day. And where does that stuff go? It goes into you, and into you, and into you, and into all of us. We eat it. We take it in through our skins. It's our daily poison, and it's bad stuff. Pesticides, we take it in through water and food and skin contact. We store it in our fat tissues. I worked in a hospital in the care of people who were dying, and often you notice when their weight got down below a certain amount, the death came very quickly, because the stored poisons in their bodies, in their kidneys and in their livers, were released into the blood system when they lost weight. And the special danger, which is my interest group, are older people. So we want to solve that problem, and we can. We can solve it. Well, these are the different things that's suspected of. The United Nations says that the poison, the pesticides, are responsible for all of these illnesses. 385 million people die of pesticide poisoning, according to the UN. Serious stuff. So how do we avoid it? How do we keep the pesticides out? We use artificial intelligence instead of poison. This is a machine. It's called Potato Bot. You run it along your fields at high speeds. This thing is really moving fast. It does thousands and thousands. And what it does, it doesn't analyze the soil or analyze the plants. It analyzes every single individual plant and tells you if it's infected or it's not. If it's infected, beep, it gets a little tiny pinch of poison, just the one plant. The rest of the plants are not touched. Lettuce bots. Wait a second, where are we now? Can handle 1.5 million plants an hour. It does 90 actions per second. These are machines. There's no poison involved. Has a precision of 1/4 centimeter. So if you use lettuce bot, you don't need the poisons. We can free our people from poisons. If you are in favor of this, and all you people go out and tell the world, this is where Jordan has to invest, in machines like this, and there's several different ones, we will be saving people's lives around the world. And I promise you, if you refuse to use your augmented reality in games, you can still make money with this stuff. This is on sale now, profitably. Here's another one of these things. This one doesn't use poisons or analysis. It uses, it looks for weeds. And with AI, it examines the weeds and according to the forms of the letters and so on. And then it plucks them out of the ground mechanically. No poisons. Great stuff. It's called FarmWise, and it works day and night. And I could go on forever, but I can't. I'm not allowed to. So I will stop right here. If you're interested in the military side, I'm a military expert. As I say, I've been in 2 wars and all over the Pentagon and drones and all of that. I'll talk about that later this afternoon. I thank you for your time, and I thank your wonderful country for the hospitality. Thank you.